The year is 1919, a pivotal moment in Egypt's history. The streets of Cairo are alive with protests, voices rising against British occupation. But among these iconic images, a key group has often been overlooked: women. Women were beginning to raise their voices demanding rights, education, and opportunities. Hoda Shaarawi, a pioneering feminist, became a symbol of this movement. However, the story is not just about her, but also the voices of countless women who wrote to her sharing their hopes, struggles, and desires for change. And here, Dr. Dina Hashmat, Associate Professor in the Department of Arab and Islamic Civilizations, hosted a talk titled Searching for Women's Autobiographical Writings in the Archive.
The 1919 revolution is often presented as starting in March 1919 in Cairo with the demonstrations that erupted when Saad Zaghloul and the other leaders and the other Wafd leaders were exiled. So this is of course an important moment of the 1919 revolution, but this revolution was broader than only this. It was more extended in time and place. It took place also elsewhere, so not only in Cairo, but also in the countryside, in the factories, in small villages, etc. Peasant women were very active in the resistance against, for instance, forced conscription. Peasants were forced to join to work, let's say, for the British Army during World War I. So this is right before the 1919 revolution, but it's an important factor that actually led to that anger that finally erupted.
The voices of women during the 1919 revolution found their way into films like Hassan al-Imam's Bain al-Qasrain, based on the first part of Naguib Mahfouz's trilogy, and also photographs archived in the AUC's Rare Books and Special Collections library that truly present how motivated women were to be heard.
Part of what motivated women is what motivated men as well. So it's part of it is, of course, directly related to the colonial occupation. So it's also a moment where they could have joined the protests on the streets because they were eager, to be on the streets, to free themselves from the restrictions.
Alongside the cinematic portrayals and photographs, women also recorded their voices through letters that were sent to Hoda Shaarawi. These letters preserved in two main boxes at the AUC's Rare Books and Special Collections library that are labeled feminist counterparts. Within these boxes, women across Egypt and around the world wrote in both Arabic and French. These letters not only reflect the thoughts and feelings of women during a pivotal time in history, but also connect us to their struggles and solidarity in the fight for rights and recognition.
The personalities of the writers, of the authors, are different. So, for instance, in Hoda Shaarawi's autobiography, she's really keen on, she insists on her role in founding the movement, etc., and on her childhood and how all of this prepared her, in a sense, to become one of the leaders or the leader, as she is often presented, of the Egyptian feminist movement. Although this is something that, as I said, we need to look into. At the end of the day, it's important to realize that there were other women who were involved with her in the Wafd's women's committee. So she is not the only one who is politically active, right? The collective is important. The group of women is also important. So the letters show that there was a networking, a feminist, a collective activity in order to work on, in order to confront this marginalizing on the part of the leadership of the Wafd.
The importance of studying these letters goes beyond simply understanding history. They illuminate the rich tapestry of women's experiences during the revolution, showcasing their activism and resilience.
I think that this is important not only because it is a way of doing justice, but it's also a way of questioning our own ways of, what do we remember and what do we forget.
Through her ongoing research, Dr. Dina found certain letters that stood out to her and made her relate to the present.
I found out that there are some similarities between what women were experiencing back then and what women might experience today. And I'm talking here more specifically, I'm focusing on women who are politically active.
Despite the inspiration she found in these letters, Dr. Dina faced significant challenges. Many of the letters received by AUC's library are not labeled or described, making her research even more difficult.
I think what is challenging is sometimes I keep, I search, and there's nothing, right? So I go from an archive to another, and there's nothing, and so it's a bit tiring, it's disappointing, and I feel that I won't be able to find more or to uncover more.
Poignant in their description of a woman's solitude in a male environment.
The letters from women during the 1919 revolution show us that history isn't just what we see in the streets or read in books. It's also in the quiet personal words written by women who shaped the world from behind the scenes. This was Hoda Shaarawi from AUCTV, Cairo.